Dracula, the Rael Story. A graded reader, level A2. Chapter 1, The Son of the Dragon. The story begins in the year 1431. Vlad was born in a town called Sighisora. This town is in Transylvania, a beautiful place with big mountains. His father was also named Vlad. The father was a member of a special group called the Order of the Dragon. This group protected the Christian world from enemies. In the old language, Draco meant dragon. So, people called the father Dracula. The young boy became Dracula, which means son of the dragon. At that time, the world was a dangerous place. Two big powers wanted to control the land. The Kingdom of Hungary was to the west. The Ottoman Empire was to the south. Wallachia was right in the middle of these two giants. Chapter 2, A Difficult Childhood. When Vlad was a teenager, his life changed forever. The Ottoman Sultan took Vlad and his younger brother, Radu, as prisoners. They lived in a foreign land for many years. The Sultan wanted to use the boys to control their father. Vlad was not happy in the Sultan's palace. He was angry and he felt very lonely. He watched the Ottoman soldiers every day. He learned how they fought and how they used horses. He also learned how they punished their enemies. His brother, Radu, liked the Sultan's court, but Vlad hated it. He wanted to go back home and be a prince. This difficult time made Vlad a very hard and serious man. He learned that the world was a cruel place. Chapter 3, The Return of the Prince. In 1448, Vlad finally returned to his home in Wallachia. He received bad news. His father and his older brother were dead. A group of rich men, called boyars, killed them. Vlad wanted to be the ruler, but he had many enemies. He took the throne for a short time, but he had to run away again. He waited for 8 long years in other countries. Finally, in 1456, he became the Prince of Wallachia again. This time, he was ready to stay. He looked at the boyars and did not trust them. He wanted a strong country with no crime. To have a strong country, he needed to be a very strong leader. He began to change the laws of the land immediately. Chapter 4, The Castle on the Mountain. Vlad needed a safe place to stay. He built a great fortress called Poenari Castle. The castle was high on a mountain near a river. It was very difficult for an army to reach. Legend says that Vlad made the boyars work on the castle. They were the same men who were bad to his family. They worked for many months in the cold and the wind. The work was very hard because the mountain was steep. From this high castle, Vlad could see his enemies coming from far away. He felt like a true king there. He wanted to protect his land at any cost. People say that crime disappeared because everyone was afraid of the prince. If you left a gold cup on the street, no one touched it. Chapter 5, Vlad the Impaler. Vlad had a new nickname now. People called him Vlad Teeps. In English, this means Vlad the Impaler. This was because of his favorite way to punish people. He was very cruel to his enemies and to criminals. Stories about his cruelty began to spread across Europe. Some people said he was a monster. Others said he was a hero who saved his people. In Wallachia, many people respected him. They said he was the only man who could stop the Ottoman army. He wanted order and he wanted honesty in his country. But his methods were very violent and bloody. The Sultan in the south was watching Vlad. A big war was coming very soon. Chapter 6, The Night Attack. In 1462, the Sultan led a huge army into Wallachia. The Ottoman army was much bigger than Vlad's army. Vlad knew he could not win a normal battle. He decided to use a surprise plan. He dressed as an Ottoman soldier and entered the enemy camp at night. He learned where the Sultan's tent was. Then, he led his men in a fast and dangerous attack. It was very dark and everyone was screaming. The Wallachian soldiers killed many enemies in their sleep. They wanted to find and kill the Sultan. But the Sultan was in a different place. Vlad's men had to run back into the forest before morning. The Ottoman soldiers were very scared because they did not see the enemy coming. Vlad was a master of psychological war. Chapter 7: The Forest of the Dead. The Sultan's army continued to march toward the capital city, Targovist. When they arrived, the city was empty. The Sultan saw something terrible outside the city walls. There were thousands of people on tall wooden stakes. It was a forest of dead enemies. The sight was so horrible that even the brave Sultan felt sick. He did not want to fight a man who was so cruel. The Ottoman army was tired, hungry, and very afraid. The Sultan decided to leave Wallachia and go back to his own land. Vlad won the war, but he lost many things too. His land was burned and his people were poor. He was a hero to some, but a monster to others. The stories of the Forest of the Impaled spread all over the world. Chapter 8: Betrayal and Prison. Vlad's victory did not last long. His younger brother, Radu, wanted to be the prince. Radu had the support of the Ottoman Sultan. The rich boyars also liked Radu more than Vlad. They were tired of Vlad's many wars and his hard laws. Vlad had to run away to Hungary to ask for help. He thought the king of Hungary was his friend. But the king heard the terrible stories about Vlad's cruelty. Instead of helping him, the king put Vlad in prison. Vlad stayed in a Hungarian prison for 12 long years. While he was there, he lost his power and his family. But he did not give up. He waited patiently for another chance to return home. Chapter 9: The Last Battle. In 1476, Vlad was finally free. He was an older man now, but he was still a warrior. He went back to Wallachia for the third time to be the prince. His enemies were still there, and the Ottoman army was still a threat. He fought a final battle near the city of Bucharest. The details of his death are a great mystery. Some say his own soldiers killed him by mistake. Others say the boyars killed him because they hated him. The Ottoman soldiers eventually found his body. They cut off his head and took it to the Sultan in Istanbul. The Sultan wanted everyone to see that the son of the dragon was dead. The man was gone, but the legend was just beginning. Chapter 10: The Mystery of the Grave. Where is the real Dracula today? Many people believe he is buried in a monastery at Snagov. This monastery is on a small island in a lake. In 1931, archaeologists opened the grave of Vlad III. They found a surprise. The grave was empty. There was no body, no gold, and no clothes. Where did he go? Some people think his friends moved his body to a secret place. Others think the grave was robbed many years ago. This mystery makes the story of Dracula even more famous. People from all over the world visit Romania to find the truth. They look for his ghost in the dark forests and the old castles. 400 years after Vlad died, a writer named Bram Stoker wrote a book. The book was called Dracula. Stoker used the name of the real prince for his vampire character. He also used the dark mountains of Transylvania for the setting. Because of this book, the world forgot the real history of Vlad III. Today, we think of vampires when we hear the name Dracula. But in Romania, many people still remember Vlad as a brave defender. He was a man of his time, violent, hard, and very strong. He was not a vampire, but his real life was just as scary as any movie. The story of the real Dracula is a story of a man who fought for his home. Whether he was a hero or a villain, we will never forget him. The end.